What's up YouTube? It's Brandon from Tattooing 101, and today I'm going to teach you how to draw a shark. I'm going to show you how to draw a shark in two different ways. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe down below so you can keep up to date on all the new content I make for you guys each week. Let's get into it.
Okay, so we always start out with our red, and I'm using my pencil sketcher. So I'm going to show you two different ways to draw a shark. I'm going to show you the first way, which is just the head of a shark and then a full-bodied shark. We'll start out with the full-bodied shark. So I'm just going to start with how I want my shark to go. So I'm going to have the head about right here, then we have the body wrap up around and the tail right about here. So I'm just making my shapes to understand exactly how the shark's going to go. So this is the body. It's going to turn right here, right like this. Then we're going to have a fin right here. Its bottom fin right here, right below where the head's going to connect. And then we could just go through here and start shaping out how we want the shark to look. So obviously the tail's going to come up like this. And with this one, we're going to work on more of a traditional style. With neo-traditional, you could do a lot of cool shark designs, but the only thing you would really change is kind of like how the shark is shaped to go with flow, and also you use a couple different line weights as well. Traditional is just something I really like to teach everyone to draw because it's a little bit easier than learning how to do traditional, especially if you're first starting out. So I'd recommend you start out with traditional. It just is a whole lot easier to learn, and you can implement a lot of the things you learned from drawing traditional in pretty much any other style, you know, setting up how to draw and just learning in general. So from here, we're going to have a little turn like that, come down. We'll have the fin turn a little bit right there. Can't forget the gills. So with this, we're just working on exactly where we want everything to go. You know, not going super crazy into detail. We're just mapping out where we want all of our lines to be and pretty much the size comparison with everything. This is the step to where we're just getting all the sizes worked out. We don't want to go into too much detail. We're just pretty much mapping out where everything needs to go. So right here, we're going to throw a little circle for the eye, and you pretty much have the basic shape of the shark done at this point. Now we can go into a little bit more detail. This one is going to be a great white shark. Thicken up this body a little bit. Now we could throw some teeth in here. So that's the basic side for showing how the shark could be. Over here, we're going to do just the head. So we'll start out with one circle for the head, then we'll move into shaping out everything there. Another thing that can help you guys out too, if you're first starting, is use references. So pull up an actual picture of a shark. That's going to help you be able to understand kind of how sharks are like proportioned and everything. You know, I've been drawing for years and years, so it just makes it a whole lot easier for me to be able to draw off the top of my head. But if you are first starting, feel free to use references. It'll just help you be able to get everything proportioned correctly. We'll add a little traditional skin rip to this one because it is just the head. Add some blood drops to it as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the first step of drawing our sharks. Now we could go into our second step. We're going to turn down the opacity, which this step we're going to get our pencil still and get everything proportioned exactly how it's going to be with our final design, which is going to be with our inking pen. So with this one, we're going to get it as close as physically possible to exactly how we want it to look. But at the same time, if you make a mistake, you could go back and erase certain areas. The final step is for everything to be perfect. So you could do a little bit more with this step just to get everything perfect before your last step. And if you're working with pencil and paper, it's the exact same thing. It's just a whole lot easier for me to show you how to draw on an iPad than it is paper because I need to use a light box, things like that. And it's just really hard to be able to film that because it doesn't go on the camera very good with a light box. But you know, if you are using pencil and paper, that's completely fine. It'll work out just about the same. I'm gonna make this fin a little bit bigger. I'm gonna add a little cut in it. And also, I've been seeing a ton of you guys have purchased the Tattooing 101 sketchbook. I hope it's able to help you guys out a lot, being able to see other designs being created and being able to incorporate them with your own designs. So if you're interested in that and you haven't picked it up already, I'll leave a link in the description below for you to be able to pick that up as well. Because I've seen so many different people get that and just create some awesome artwork, be able to tattoo it and learn how to tattoo without having to spend hours and hours learning exactly how to draw. You could just jump straight into tattooing, but it is important to learn how to draw. That's why I'm making these videos. I've been changing up the content quite a bit. I've done a ton of tattooing videos. So if you're on that step and you want to learn more about tattooing, I definitely recommend you check those out. And I'll be doing a lot more of those in the future as well. But I want to be able to do as much as I possibly can with this channel instead of just learning how to tattoo. I want to teach you every single step so you can perfect yourself as a tattoo artist and as an artist in general. So I hope this is able to help you guys out. Just going through here and finalizing all of these lines. For these big long lines, I like to hold them in there. You can see that it makes it perfect, so you could change everything. And for really long lines to where you want them to be absolutely perfect, I definitely recommend you hold down, and it just helps out with the drawing process a ton. I think we could add some ridges on the nose right here. Add a little parts where its lips are kind of showing right like that. Perfect. Now to go on to the head of the shark. So this step, you could really tell exactly what we're doing. The first step, you know, it's still kind of messy. It's hard to be able to tell exactly where everything is, but you could really see exactly what's going on with this step. Now we can get rid of that first one, turn down the opacity of this one, and get ready for our final step. And also with this one, I'm going to show you how to quickly shade in these areas. So go through here with our Digi Steady pen. Make sure we're going to a different layer. Let's complete this. I like the Digi Steady pen because I could do different line sizes, especially with neo-traditional. It's really easy to go through, and with one pencil, instead of having to change everything, I could just go lighter, as you could see, and it changes the thickness. But with traditional, you know, we're pretty much going to do the lines exactly the same throughout the whole thing, so you really don't have to worry about that. And also, drawing these things a ton of times is what's going to help you be able to learn how to draw them off the top of your head. You know, this isn't something that you just learn from birth. This is something that takes years and years of practice to be able to do. So the more you draw them, the easier it's going to be able to just draw off the top of your head. Same thing with this one. We're going to go through and finalize up everything. Also in this one, I'm going to show you how to efficiently shade in your tattoos really quickly if you're working on an iPad, or even if you're working on paper. It'll be the exact same steps, just obviously a little bit different because you're working with actual pencil and paper instead of digital. But it's a great way for your clients to be able to see exactly how the tattoo is going to look finalized and will help out a ton with getting more clients because they're going to be able to see how it's going to be shaded in, all the colors, and takes all the guesswork out of your design. So I'm going to show you in this video how I do that as well. So we're just going to go through here and finalize up our design. There's our final design, super easy, traditional style. And I'm going to show you how to shade this one. It'll be the easiest one to show you. So I'm going to make this my reference, go to a different layer and get what I'm going to shade which is going to be my shader right there. And then I can just highlight the specific areas that I want to do with our shading. Right like that. I think we're going to add some blue down here. This is also a good way to do color theory. You know, if you're not sure what colors you want to use in your tattoo, you could clearly see what everything looks like before, you know, getting to the tattoo. And then you're like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently. Because then obviously at that point you are going to be in trouble because you messed up the tattoo. So shading in all your tattoos will help you be more confident with tattooing. You know where everything's supposed to go, and the client will be able to see where everything is going as well. So they could finalize it, know exactly what they're getting before coming in for the appointment. Just use my highlighter too. And obviously you're going to be a little bit slower at this just because you're first starting out. I've obviously been doing this forever, and it took me a really long time to get this proficient with Procreate. So don't get discouraged if it's taking you a little bit longer, or you have to slow down this video if you're following along. But that is how I draw and shade in pretty much all of my tattoos. If I'm making a design for a tattoo that I'm doing in the future, this is how I do it. And then I could just take away this layer and print this off for my stencil and print this off to be able to see exactly where everything's going. But I hope this was able to help you guys out. And as always, you have a wonderful day.